Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy EJ coming to you guys once again. Today we're going to have a simple and quick video because a lot of people ask when you ride in these EUCs, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have gotten it, the same question and stuff, and that's pretty much how do you start riding the EUC? You know what I'm saying? And how easy it was for you to learn how to ride the EUC. You know what I'm saying? Like most of you guys probably know that, it took me about 8 days to get it. It took me 1 day to start riding it. It took me about 8 days. Well, I'm going to say it took me about 3 days to stop really having to swing my arms around, realizing that swinging my arms around was hurting me. It wasn't helping me. You know what I'm saying? So it took a little time to learn that right there. And on top of that, it took me about a good 8 days to really get comfortable on the Gold Hero riding. Let me see, I did like a 20 some plus mile ride on the Hero, and pretty much after that I was like fully comfortable with riding EUC at that point right there. You know what I'm saying? So this is not like a super easy journey, but it's also not a hard journey either. You know what I'm saying? And let's not forget the fact that I'm 50 years old. So I'm 50 years old. I learned how to ride an EUC. And I can tell you guys now that my biggest secret is I never stopped moving. You know, even being at my age, I never stopped moving. I started pretty much riding like most people did. I started riding hot cycles, tricycles, went into BMX, and then from BMX I started riding 10 speeds. Actually, during the same time, I was still young. I was like still too small to even ride a 10 speed or a road bike, as y'all call them these days. These days we call them road bikes. Um, yeah, I was too short and everything when I started riding those. So I kind of switched between those and BMXs, and I kind of did it over and over again, kept doing it, kept trying it, you know what I'm saying? Kept trying to make it work and all that kind of stuff like that, and got really good. I mean, I'm dynamite when it comes to a bike. Y'all got some of my videos on there where you can actually see me riding a mountain bike. So definitely check that content out too. You know what I'm saying? I do ride mountain bikes. I have an e-bike right now, which is a pedal assist. I don't have a throttle. I got a pedal assist mountain bike. So I got what people mostly call like a real mountain bike. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what else. And from there, I went to scooters. We had scooters that actually had blow up tires on them at first, and then they went to the scooters. They got the tires that are like what you call those, like a skateboard tire. Those became popular because they were foldable. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people switched and started riding those right there. And from there, from that point right there, I went to hoverboards, and then I went to segways. And of course, before I started the hoverboards and the segways, I rode the skateboard as well when I was riding the scooters and stuff. So we did skateboards and scooters and stuff. And I pretty much started riding wheels at birth, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as I was born, I was riding wheels. You know, my mom said she couldn't even stop me from doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I've been riding wheels for a very, very long time. And like I said, I never stopped. Like a lot of people do. They'll maybe start riding bike when they're a little kid, and then they'll stop and they probably won't ever ride a bike again. And then on top of that, you guys know I also hike, I kayak, you know what I'm saying? So I do all of that as well, along with riding vehicles and stuff. So even at 50 years old, I have been outdoors athletic for a very, very long time. And between the skateboard, the hoverboard, the segways, riding something that you had to do this type of balancing on was pretty normal to me. It was pretty much normal, you know what I'm saying? So I never had any type of problem with anything like this. So naturally, and I'm pretty sure I can ride the what you call that thing, the one wheel thing. I'm pretty sure I can ride the one wheel thing even easier than riding this right here. I probably would be like literally no issues riding the one wheel. You know what I'm saying? So when I hopped on the Go Hero for the first time, it took me 45 minutes to really start getting the handle of it. And I'm gonna tell you one secret that I always kind of go by. Most people are gonna tell you to balance, and I'm gonna tell you the opposite. You're gonna learn how to ride as soon as you stop trying to balance. When you stop trying to balance, you're gonna learn how to ride. You're not gonna have all those problems. It's not gonna be all shaky and crazy and stuff like that. All that's gonna go away when you stop trying to balance. That's one of the biggest secrets with riding any type of a bike or a scooter or anything like that. When you stop trying to balance, it's gonna work out well for you as soon as you stop trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely keep that in mind if you decide that you want to ride a wheel. And just because of your age, it don't really matter. You may not have as much experience as I have riding wheels and stuff like that, and you kind of really don't have to have it. You just got to have confidence. As long as you got some confidence and a little motivation, you definitely can learn how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it took me like 45 minutes in a parking lot. Pick you a parking lot where there's no cars and nothing like that, because you don't want to run into anything, and pick something like that and just start riding. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I'm going to say don't do is holding on to something, because you're going to notice very quickly if you start off riding holding on to something, as soon as you let go, you're going to start falling toward whatever object it was that you was holding on to. If you're going to do the holding on thing, I would do it only in a house, like holding onto your counter or whatever like that, or to the walls. If you got a narrow hallway, maybe hold on to the walls and do it there. But once you come outside, don't do it. Don't do it once you come outside. Once you come outside, you need to learn how to mount the wheel and make it roll forward. A slight heel always helps. If you have a slight heel that you can get on and roll down, you know, a nice parking lot with a nice hill. A lot of times malls will have that slight hill in a mall, and you can kind of like roll down the hill and stuff like that on a slight hill. And because forward momentum is actually what helps you balance and stay upright. When the wheel is still and barely moving or not moving at all, it's going to be hard for you to get up there and stay up there. You know what I'm saying? So you need the wheel to actually be moving a little bit, and that's what's going to give you all of your balance when you're moving. Not when you're still. It's going to give you the balance when you're actually moving forward. That's going to give you your balance. You know what I'm saying? And that has always helped me out. I started riding, when I first rode a BMX bike, I rode down the hill first. And then I was like, oh, okay, now I got it. This is how this particular thing works. You have to be like on the hill, and then it'll be super duper easy for you to be able to keep it upright, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Balance it, or whatever you want to say it is. That's what you need to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's mind over matter. Stop trying to balance. You won't have a problem. As long as you're trying to balance, you're going to have a problem with keeping it upright. Just stop. As you see right now, I'm not moving my hand. Well, I'm moving this hand around, but I'm not swirling my hands around. I'm not doing none of that crazy stuff there. I'm just using my hand while I'm talking for some strange reason. But hey, just don't do none of that, and then you will find that you will actually go straight, because every movement you make, even me holding this Insta360 camera, is making the wheel want to do a certain thing because of the weight imbalance. And basically the only thing I'm doing is I'm counterbalancing the fact that I'm holding the Insta360 in my hand, and that's how I'm able to ride and hold the Insta360 at the same time. But when I first learned how to ride and I started holding the Insta360, I would notice that I would fall toward the Insta360. In other words, the wheel was trying to go in that direction because that's where the weight was going in. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn how to counterbalance that weight so that it won't pull you toward the camera. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people tell you that it's kind of hard for them to actually ride holding the camera in their hand. So you may not want to do that, because I got a mount on this helmet here. I got a GoPro mount on the top of the helmet that I can actually mount it to, but I didn't mount it to it this time. You know what I'm saying? But you can mount it to your helmet, or you can get a neck strap and mount it to the neck strap itself, and that'll actually help that counterbalance. But when you start riding, I would suggest don't ride with anything in your hand when you first start out. Just keep it simple. Don't start with nothing in your hand, and you'll find that it's pretty easy to do. And just remember, don't move your arms around a lot. It's okay if you have your arms like out to the side like this. If you have your arms out to the side, as you saw, as soon as I threw my arm out like that, the wheel turned. You know what I'm saying? As soon as my arm went out like that, that's how you turn. When you move your arm like that, it's going to turn. Or if I move my belly button and point it in a certain direction, it's going to turn. You know what I'm saying? That's how the wheel steer itself. You know what I'm saying? By your weight distribution, like how you distribute your weight is going to determine which way the wheel is actually going to move. You know what I'm saying? But guys, pretty much that's it. I never stopped moving. And that what allowed me to learn how to ride the EUC very easily, because I never stopped riding. That's just it. I never stopped doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Even at 50 years old, I'm still zip lining and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe later this year or next year, y'all gonna see me skydiving and stuff. I never stopped moving. In other words, I never stopped living. I keep on living every day. You know what I'm saying? I keep activities going. I have a job where I travel a lot. I walk a lot. You know what I'm saying? I stay in motion. You know what I'm saying? So if you my age or older and you haven't been in motion, you know, you've been working and maybe going home and watching TV, eating buns and stuff like that, yes, it's going to be difficult for you. It's going to be difficult for you. It's not going to be as difficult for me. So don't think I just did something and, oh, it was pretty easy for him. Maybe he was already riding. No, I never stopped riding. That's the whole key. I never stopped moving. That's the whole key to my success, is I never stopped moving. So riding the EUC became very, very easy for me because I never stopped moving. You know what I'm saying? And out of almost 3 weeks, I don't know if this wind picking up, but it's kind of windy out here, guys. I'm up here in New York right now, so it's kind of windy right now, but sorry if the wind is affecting it, but you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, I kind of lost my train of thought right there because the wind was blowing on me. But yeah, I just never stopped moving, and that's how I'm able to do it so easy. I only had one fall on the EUC. One fall on the EUC, and it happened to be a slightly bad fall. My knee is still a little bitty, tweaked a little bit, you know what I'm saying, like that. But I only had one fall on the EUC. That's out of the whole training period, the whole me trying to get used to it. And on my trip to Memphis, when I rode with my son, was the first time I failed. You know what I'm saying? And it had something to do with this EX30 wheel. And as you can see, I am actually working on the EX30. I had to take the pads off. That's another thing that I did wrong. I did not take the pads off the EX30, and I should have. Those EX30 pads, they cut like a 1 inch groove in my leg. Like, I'm talking about through the skin and everything. Like on that ride that I did in Memphis from downtown from Chevy Farms to downtown and back, it actually cut a groove in my legs, guys. I mean, the pad is that bad on the EX30. So I definitely say switch them out. I already have the Clark system. I just haven't put them on there yet, and I wish I had put them on there, but I got the Clark system pads. So I got to, when I go back home, I'm going to have to slap those pads and stuff on there. And I actually got the Clark, I want to say it's called the Clark Extreme pads. I think it's the Clark Extreme. I'll have to look at it again and see what they actually is, but they're the one-piece pads. I got those pads there. So I'm going to do a video when I do the build out on the EX30, when I put all the pads and stuff on. I'll do a video so you guys can see everything that I put on it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely keep an eye out for that video of me installing the Clark pack system onto the EX30. And I also bought the Vertex pads. Well, I actually didn't get the pads. I got the Vertex system for the ET Max. But I'm going to tell you, I'm probably going to end up selling the EX30. I'm probably going to end up selling that one there soon. And I'm going to stick with the ET Max. And then I'm going to get the X-Way. I'm going to get the Gold X-Way. So I have the X-Way for going off-road, because my son likes to go off-road a lot. And I'm going to have the ET Max for driving on the street. So those would be my two EUCs that I'm gonna be using. Man, it's a lot of deers out here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but you can see the wobbling that the EX30 is doing. I'm not sure what that is. But it's like wobbling bad on the EX30. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna check and see if I got any extra alignment damage or anything from it crashing or whatever, or if I got any loose bolts or something. Don't feel like there's a bearing issue or anything like that. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on with it. Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi, how are you?
All right. Yeah, guys, I got to check that out and find out what's going on with it. So I'm definitely not going to drive the EX30 fast as long as it's doing this right here. It's kind of like a bumping up and down, and then when you go fast, it's kind of like maybe like a wobble, and everything feels very, very tight and secure. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. I'm gonna have to do some work to check that out, but that's going to pretty much do it for this video, guys. I just want to let y'all know how I started riding EUC so easily, so quickly. It's just the fact that, like I said, I just kept moving. I never stopped moving, and that's the reason why it was easy for me to learn. I have always rode bikes and stuff like that, so just keep that in mind. If you out here and you know, 40, 50 years old, 60 years old, just remember, you can always get on a bike and ride and keep your motion going. Never ever stop your motion for anything, because it's very important that we stay healthy, you know what I'm saying, as we get older, you know what I'm saying? So you can definitely learn how to ride an EUC if you're an older man or woman. You can definitely learn how to ride. One suggestion I will give you, I started on the Hero, and I would tell you guys this: I would not start on one of the more kid-like EUCs unless you have a kid that you can pass it off to. If you don't have a kid that you can pass that EUC off to, I pretty much wouldn't buy one. You know what I'm saying? I would stick with the bigger EUCs, because you buy that kid-like EUC, you might regret it real fast if you buy that type of EUC, because you're definitely going to want something that's, you know, got a little more strength, a little more power. I don't know if you guys who saw my video in Memphis, you saw how easily the big old Hero went up and down that hill. So I definitely wouldn't advise you buying a cheap one. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you know you're going to like it. I wouldn't really buy a cheap one. I would just go ahead and buy an expensive one, or a more powerful one. I'm not necessarily expensive, but something that got a little more power, a little more kick to it. And from what I've been hearing from all the EUC riders, if you buy a smaller wheel, you got more instability. The bigger the wheel is, the more stability you have. And I haven't rode on a small one, so I can't really vouch for any of that. I'm just going to go by, since they've been riding EUCs for a long time, that they know exactly what they're talking about. And you probably will get more stability from a big wheel. It makes more sense. The bigger wheels are heavier, so it definitely makes more sense that you're going to be able to ride the bigger wheel easier. It definitely makes more sense, guys. So definitely keep that in mind when you're thinking about buying one. But yeah, everybody stay safe out there. Make sure you wear your pads, wear your helmet. Right now, I just got on my helmet because I'm not going fast. I'm going like maybe 10, 15 miles an hour. So I'm going pretty slow right now. I don't really need all the pads and stuff on, but definitely if you was moving faster, definitely make sure you get all your pads and be safe out there, you know what I'm saying? Your wrist guards and all that kind of stuff. And everybody just enjoy riding EUCs. That's all I can tell you. Just enjoy riding them, you know what I'm saying? They are very fun to ride. Yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. So make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.